All right, this is Stephanie Schrum with Co-Creative Healing. I want to show some techniques for when a rib's out of place. She's got a few different dynamics going on as far as what's happening symptomatically. She gets a lot of pain through the side, kind of stagnated and sore pain, and also muscular tension through here. And I'm just going to begin with just some general warming. I've already palpated beforehand to perceive where the rib's out of place, which she's got some here, a little bit through here. And there's a mild torque pattern, almost like, let me show, like she was kind of doing something like this and got jammed. So in a session, I would probably spend a little bit more time than I'm going to show in the video, but I would really warm and prime the area. Get it through here. Now, there's some other videos that show this in more detail. Part of the torque pattern I feel comes from, like, she was probably pushing a little bit with her arms. So Tara-Leigh, I'm going to have you lift your elbow to the sky. Yeah. And let go. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then also push your hand, yeah, that's it. And release. So sometimes also, if you have an idea of how the person injured themselves, you can walk them through similar movements to help undo how it got put in. It's kind of like unwinding a top. Now, and also to help open up her wrists, I do have another video where I'll have basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm pushing along the side. It's also where some of her congestion is. And then releasing. And that's impacting both where my fist is, but also where my elbow is. I'm kind of rocking the ribs. So as I press in, it changes the way that the bone inserts close to underneath my elbow. I can also change the angle a little bit. Do a little rocking. So Tara-Leigh, I want you to push your bicep down to the earth into my thigh. Push. Yeah, that's good. And let go. Nice. I want you also push your right knee forward into the table. And now left. Switch. And do that back and forth. It's changing the angle. You keep doing that. That changes the angle of the spine by changing the hip. There you go. And helps to unwind some of the fascia. Intense, huh?
Felt good.
Felt good. Okay.
Good hurt.
Good hurt. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple layers. I mean, if I was in treatment, I would do some more unwinding with this way. And I would like to skip a little bit forward to addressing some of the cupping. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be following along the patterns of the ribs. And I'm going to first start with a lighter silicone cup. And then if necessary, I will move up to a deeper section of a glass cup if needed. You let me know if it's too much. Hold part of the skin taut. Odd feeling, huh?
Yeah. Very neat.
Is it your first time receiving cupping?
Yeah. Always wanted to.
There we go. So, and even with this, I'm going to hold a little bit the spine, where the spine is. There you go. On the skin.
So that's the rib that's out.
That's exactly where it hurts.
Yeah. Usually what happens with where a rib's out is part of the intercostals are too squeezed and part of the intercostals are too open. Here we go. It's starting to undo.
I can tell it's feeling better and better every time.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more suction. So the more I squeeze, the deeper the suction is. There we go. And I'm gonna come and hold so that the flesh is a little bit more taut, right? And the lower ribs are gonna have more movement than the upper ribs, so you just have to kind of gauge. There you go. And you'll already start to see that some discolorations coming up, probably where she says exactly where it bothers her. Like even though I'm doing the gliding basically uniformly over this area, this is the spot that bothers you, right?
Yes.
Right. And can you see how that's where the discoloration's coming up? Even though it's, you know, I'm doing it evenly. There you go. Now I'm going to follow some of the fascia up through here, the way that it inserts up here. Okay, see, that's the spot that bothers her. I mean, even though cupping, I know, is kind of weird for a Western mind, it blows me away how often, like discoloration only shows up where they've been experiencing pain. Will you stabilize her arm for me? Yeah. Now, normally I would be stabilizing that with maybe my legs, but for the sake of the camera, I want to be out of the way so that you can see what's going on. Surviving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pull a little bit more, Anna. Thank you.
You'd be using your knees for that.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably be changing arms or directions, but yeah.
So you probably stand at the arm, or?
I'll show you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Also, sometimes what I'll do is instead of stabilizing local, I'll follow the whole fascia pattern. Like, so for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch the fascia pattern from her hip, right? And then see if I can get a little more opening through there. You're right?
Yeah. There's definitely more of a pull that way.
Yeah. Can you see the difference like this?
Yes.
See, you feel how that's, you can even see on the video that that's more surface. But if I anchor the hip and push that whole fascial pattern, right? What that's doing is through the fascia, it's already creating some tension and already doing a gentle traction of even the intercostals, right? And then that allows the suction I have to go that much deeper and more, less just in the skin and more into the where the bones are.
And how would you do that without somebody holding the arm?
She could let go for a second. Because if you get enough of the tension through here,
Then you don't need
yeah.
the arm held.
I'm going to follow a little bit more down your arm. I'm going to come in and sit.
I definitely want the cups.
Okay. She was like, I don't know if I want them or not. I'm like, let me let you try it. Okay. There you go. So now, not only am I following up some of the fascial lines, I'm also, I'm following some of the meridian lines that go up to it. And then even if you think functionally, she probably got herself out by like pushing like in a kind of wrestly way, and that impacts up here. I'm right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just pushed the humeral head back in, and
There we go.
I don't know if that was necessarily the right thing.
So now we're less with the rib and more with some of the rotator cuff that probably got impacted. There we go.
It'd be better to have a smaller cup.
Okay. I've got one here. Let's give it a try. Bravo, Anna. Yeah, because then I'm not falling off the edge as much. Good. We may have some fine tuning to do next time you come, Taralee, but I think you're going to really find a lot of. There we go.
Just looks painful.
Oh, you guys, totally. Like, shouldn't you leave that alone? That part?
No, but you have to. Yeah, right.
It doesn't hurt that bad.
No, well, and
You
part
should
of
see it, Taralee.
Well, maybe I don't want to.
no. Well, and I have to see. You know, the key with this is you treat everybody
Oh, that
in
feels
the
so
way.
much better.
Yeah, it is the way where they're able to be treated, and I'm feeling her tissues. And even though there's some intensity that she's experiencing, her tissues are like, woo!
Finally.
Finally. Yeah. So now that I got the deep congestion that was stuck here, where she was experiencing the pain, now I want to integrate it up the rib, right?
It feels like it's going over tiny little speed bumps.
Yep. And then that way, the rib will be much more likely to fall naturally back into place and not stay stuck out of place. Here you go. Now, and if we got this right away, it may not have had as much redness, but because it's been holding for a few weeks, it's kind of gotten some compensational stagnation. There we go. And this is where the rib head came out, up top through here.
Are you right on the spine now or just next to the spine?
Just next to the spine. So the spine's here, right? Spine's here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the spine itself, and I'm right along the side.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There you go.
It feels almost like a fine-tuned, like mild scratch with, like, I don't know how to describe it. Feels good.
That's good.
You say so.
Just like so. We're scaring all the people on YouTube as they're watching this. That's good
Only
that
if they
you're.
have it on mute.
Only if they have it on mute. Yeah. If they hear the words that we're saying out loud, they're hearing that it's a positive experience on the receiver's end. Now, some people. Oh, for YouTube listeners, some people, I'd say maybe only 5 to 10% of the population. I'm one of those. They have really tight, the skin underneath the fascia between their skin and the underneath surfaces is really tight, and right before there's a really big release, their body perceives that you're scraping off their skin. That is not happening. It's a kinesthetic illusion. And I actually tell some of my clients this ahead of time, that if you perceive that, I'm not scraping off your skin, but sometimes right before there's a big release, some people perceive that, and I'm one of the people who perceive that. So I just kind of name it, so they're not like, "What? She's scraping off my skin." It's just people like her skin, the fascia between her skin and the underneath tissue is nice and loose. So people who have nice loose fascia between their skin have an easier time receiving this work. Mine's pretty tight, so it can be a little bit more intense. I feel like that's a pretty good place to start. And so myofascial cupping for helping to release the ribs, and then maybe some torque pattern.